We are live.
We are live.
Thanks,
It
Johnny.
is. Thanks, John.
Thanks for hitting the button.
6:30, Wednesday afternoon. And there we are. Look at us.
Looking all purty.
All right.
John O'Brien kind of was our behind the scenes guy.
We actually had a producer today.
Well, okay.
Kinda.
But we do have a guest.
We do have a guest.
We do have a very cool guest.
Yes.
Very cool. The man wears many hats.
Yes, he does.
Many hats, and he's got a really cool hat on tonight. And we're honored to have Frank Naimoli here, and that's about all the intro I'm going to do. Because you know what, you got a lot to talk about. You got some giveaways you want to do. We've got some giveaways. Why don't you go from there? Give us some stuff.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for letting me be on the programs. You know, the best, my humble opinion, sports program in Delco.
Let me get you 20.
Nah, really, you guys. When it comes to sports, I don't talk sports with just anybody, and I do like to talk it with people that are knowledgeable. So, Carl and Mario, you guys are some of the very few that I will actually sit and have a sports conversation with.
Okay. More Carl than me, but that's okay.
He's honest. You can laugh. It's okay. It's all good.
I didn't want to hurt his feelings.
That's okay.
No,
I have no
he's
feelings.
Italian.
Yeah, I have no
There you go.
feelings.
He's
There you
Italian. And I noticed he brought you a bag of gravy.
Yeah. Well,
Looks like several containers there to me.
Well, I think one was from Christmas.
Yeah. I think I owe him a little more too.
So we're paid in full.
No,
Oh,
I probably
right.
still owe him something.
Gotcha. So, I mean, aside from the sports thing, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit because I know you and your brother Danny kind of travel up and down the East Coast.
We do.
Running after autographs. I know you do a lot of it for Danny, which I think is so totally cool. But you got a lot going on. I mean, you're busy. You're a busy guy. You're a busy guy.
I am.
In the wintertime, you've been busy with this wrestling events, and you just had one, you got another one, and then there's another one. You got them all backed up. So let's talk about it a little bit.
Well,
how did the one go a couple of weeks ago?
well, like you said, I'm the owner of Liberty All-Star Wrestling,
Right.
a company I've been involved with and owned since 1996. You actually had one of my compadres and my original partner on a few weeks ago, Bay Ragney, Chubby Dudley. Him, myself, and another gentleman by the name of David Reed started Liberty All-Star Wrestling in 1996. We basically came up with a new way to do the wrestling business, which in this area did kind of set a standard now for the way things are done, because a lot of these federations that popped up wouldn't be around if we didn't figure out a new way to run, because before then it was just big rich companies or people that had a lot of money were the only ones that could run a wrestling show. We were kind of the first ones that was just three guys with no money but a plan, and we kind of opened the door. Some say that was a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing, but we ran it successfully from 96 to about I'd say about 2001, 2002, and then the wrestling business kind of slackered down, so we took some time off, and then in 2015 there was a wrestling show that I wasn't running but was a part of, and it didn't go as well as somebody would hope, so they wanted to do another one, but they wanted to go with someone else. So somebody approached me and said, "Can you run this?" I said, "Oh, I haven't run a show in almost 15, 16 years. I'll give it a try." And we did, and the first one was a disaster. We had problems. The actual first show didn't even get off the ground. But instead of just packing it up, we, came back full force, did a very good show, and I kind of looked at the product out there and came up with something different because I didn't feel like I watched the wrestling on TV and I watched a lot of the locals.
Right.
The one thing I thought it was missing was how I used to feel when I was a kid going to wrestling. The memories of my father taking me down to the Spectrum, the Civic Center, and he would tell me stories of when his father would take him to the arena.
Wow.
And watching Bruno Sammartino and how everybody would get him. And it was a memory, and he had memories. And then I remembered I had those memories. Like, I could tell you my very first wrestling show, Philadelphia Spectrum, it was sometime 77. Bob Backlund versus Angelo Mosca was the main event. Ken Patera versus Gorilla Monsoon's retirement match. So, and I could tell you everything from what we ate on, and I have a lot of great memories. And I just felt like that's missing now.
Okay.
I don't see a lot of families going to the shows, and so I started watching the shows, and I said, you know why? Because the wrestlers have, the athleticism is through the roof nowadays.
Right.
But they stopped remembering what they did it for. It's the old adage, when you were playing Little League, you were having fun, but when you became a professional, you were miserable.
Right.
So I came up with a plan to bring back that memory. And my goal with Liberty All-Star Wrestling now is to not just have a wrestling show, but an event to where, if you bring your, we have children as young as 2 years old. Like, I have people bringing their little guys there.
Yeah,
and,
we've seen them.
and they're coming up to me saying, he hasn't stopped talking about it for weeks. And I said, that's exactly what I want to hear.
Do they heckle you?
Not me. They used to. Back in the day, I was a bad guy, so I got heckled a lot. Now I'm kind of loved. I mean, at Christmas time I'm Santa Claus, so I don't think the
You
parents.
gave away your alias.
Well, you do every week when I write in.
Oh, that's true.
Also known as Santa Kringle.
Yes.
Santa Kringle. But let's talk
Brian
about
did
this
too.
event Saturday at Octorara High School. You've kind of mixed it in with a charity event.
Yeah, well, that's one of the also things that we're doing now is we're working with all local charities, and hey, if there's any charity out there that needs Liberty All-Star Wrestling's help, please reach out to us. We've come up with a new way to do things to where it doesn't put any burden on the charity, and our goal is to help them make money and again have an event that all families can come to. So this week, this Saturday, at Octorara High School at Glen, Pennsylvania. I finally got it right. We're
This one.
Yes, that's they are the children's tickets. These are the adults.
Gotcha.
We are
So the orange ones are for the children.
yes, and we
the
have
little ones are for adults.
exactly, and we
Yeah.
actually have a special under 18 ticket, only $5.
Wow.
You ain't even going to a movie for that.
So we have a question already.
Okay.
Who's your ring announcer?
My ring announcer is a gentleman by the name of Dan Peasy.
Okay. Oh, it is Dan Peasy.
Yes,
Right.
Dan Peasy. Real estate guy extraordinaire. So he'll announce the match and then try and sell you a house.
So before we get off
Yes.
what we got going on, we're giving away some tickets.
That's right.
So compliments of this guy right here, who's been very generous in coming on tonight, and we're going to give away some tickets. So if you're active on the page tonight, got some questions, he's going to be with us till 7:30.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
He's not going anywhere. He can't.
He can't. He's
There's-
stuck between two thorns over here.
We got him boxed in. So
Yep. And
he
it's,
can drop the elbows and do whatever he wants. But
and just so everyone knows, it's at 2:00 on Saturday
There you
at
go.
Glen, Pennsylvania. So
Yep.
if you can make it and want to come to the show, we're going to pick one of the viewers from this fan's view, and we got 4 tickets here waiting for you.
so support, and then I guess in May 4th, right? May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th,
May the 4th be with you.
We are back in Delaware County, or
Delco.
where we started
Delco.
at
Briarcliff.
the Briarcliff Firehouse. We had a sold out show last time around, so we there.
Is it the one we went to, or is it the one before that? Or
This
after
was
that?
the after.
You just had one a couple
No,
weeks
the one
ago, right?
we were just coming back.
We were coming back from Florida,
Yeah,
and that was great, right? You had a sold out show.
yeah.
Nice.
We had people. We were scrambling to find chairs and sit people wherever we could.
Really?
Yeah, and it was
It's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's really not because all the shows there benefit the Briarcliff 75 Fire Company.
Okay.
So they were very happy because they just built that new firehouse that they are kind enough to let us use. And on May the 4th, we are actually having a Star Wars themed wrestling show
Makes sense.
with the matches haven't been announced yet. The matches will probably be announced after Saturday, depending on what happens Saturday. But I will tell you, we're going to have a lot of fun with the children. A lot of Star Wars themed games and gifts are going to be there. We kind of do it like we see ourselves as not the WWF, but as the Reading Phillies of wrestling.
Okay.
We like to have the fans interact. Intermission.
And they do.
At intermission, we have a one-of-a-kind intermission where we have what we call chair wars, where the children come in and battle on musical chairs. And they have a great time. There's always gifts and autographs and pictures with the wrestlers are always free.
There we
Great
go.
segue on the R Phils. So Friday night is their home opener. So right here I've got 4 tickets to the home opener Friday night.
All right.
So again, get on, participate, ask questions, comments,
Share.
heckle the crowd.
Force your friends to like our
You know,
page.
we're here, and we're giving tickets
That's the way I
away.
look at it.
We're giving tickets away. The gentleman was in last week, picked up, I believe his name was Brandon Driscoll.
Yes, Brandon.
He picked up his autographed Dick Vermeil photo from last week. He was ecstatic.
Great.
Why would he not be?
We told him it was an 8x10 and it was an 11x14. So he was
better.
he was a happy camper. So jump on the page, like, share.
We got a question from Jack. He wants to know if you're going to have Flyers playoff giveaway.
That'll be in our next hour.
That's in the second hour, Jack.
Technically, didn't the Flyers already give away the playoffs?
Brandon's watching too.
There you go. There you go. We're gonna hopefully get to some non-playoff talk. So hang in there with us, Jack. I might need some help. But I want to get back with Frank here because he's been a friend of the store. He's been a friend of ours. We've kind of been partnership in a lot of different things, and he's always there. He's always very, very willing to give to the community and give back. And Christmas time is a big
time
he's a very
Frank.
spirited
Yes.
guy. And if you haven't seen it, you need to go on to the Santa Kringle page. Help us out. Give us some info.
We'll share that page on here too. We'll share both. Liberty
Yeah.
All-Star and Santa Kringle. We'll share them both on here.
He does a phenomenal job.
He does.
Not just in the Delco community. He's everywhere. But
He did Santa at the club this year.
He's been to the Columbus Club,
So.
and I think the waitresses like them better than the kids.
It's always that way.
Is it? Okay.
And you know what?
But-
The same thing too with Santa Claus. If anyone ever needs Santa's help, hit me up. Like Carl says,
There you go.
I'm glad to give back to the community because that's kind of what the wrestling and and my other ventures have done for me. I just want to get families out there having a good time
Yeah.
and memories. I mean, one of the things that really touched my heart was 2 shows ago watching you guys in the front row having a good time.
That was a good time. I hope I can make one of the next shows that comes up.
So this event Saturday, Casey's Clash for a Cause. That's an event that you're working with them as well.
Yes, Casey's Cause is an organization that's trying to combat the opioid and heroin crisis that's gripping the community. They do a lot of great things, a lot of support for families, supports for individuals that may be going through some hard times, trying to help them out. They reached out to us and said, wrestling is something that appeals to people from 2 to
All over.
99 years old,
Yeah.
and would you help us get our message out? And of course, we are more than happy to. We really believe in this. We're going all out, and we actually added a match just for Casey's Cause this week. We're going to have a very special battle royal called the Casey's Cup, and it's in honor of the organization Casey's Cause.
Right.
Basically, it's going to be a battle royal held once a year. At hopefully this is going to be a yearly event, and it's got their colors in the middle, a big pink jewel, and the cup's about this big, and it's going to be presented to the winner of the battle royal, and also as a reminder of why we're doing this, and all the families out there struggling, we're there to help them, and us with Casey's Cause, hopefully we're going to do a lot of good things in the future.
Good to hear. Good to
Yep.
hear. Good luck. And if you need to lean on us,
We can help.
we're
Let
here.
us know.
So you're out there, and Delco's. I mean, this is just another extension of Delco.
Yeah.
So
Delco Wrestling,
there you go.
There you go.
original and only wrestling
There you
federation.
go.
There you go. So let's kind of like move away a little bit, and we're gonna come back because I still want to talk to you about you and Danny and the world of collecting that you guys travel near and far for.
Okay.
But we got some Phillies talk to go over, and
Yeah.
I know Mario can't wait to dig into his boy.
Which one?
Well, you choose. Who's your new boy this
No,
week?
it's-
Who's your
no.
whipping boy?
Now, so last night, do I think they should have pulled Nola before they did? Yeah. But it was his choice not to. So I'm not going to give him crap for that because it was his choice. He did have a problem before where he would pull the pitchers a little too early. So he kind of went the other way on this. He knows for next time.
Well, I guess here's part of the problem that I have. Nola, that was his third game of the season. He hasn't looked spectacular in any of them.
Right.
He got through game one, gave
So-
up 5 walks.
So don't you think at that point, you see him struggling,
Yes,
pull him?
most definitely.
So
Most definitely. But
No.
I think he was trying to show confidence and show
Right.
Nola, hey,
that's why
and it cost him.
That's why I'm not going to bust his ass for it because
Right.
you can't pull them too early. You have to let them try to get out of their own mess.
And
I get it.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay
And
with
you had a
that,
6-1 lead, so you had a lot to work with.
But I just think he should have went and got him. He should have went and got him sooner. You know
So
what I mean?
we actually agree on that then.
I don't want to go that far, but
Come on.
that's just not in my. No, it's not happening.
You can't agree with me?
No,
No?
but
Off air, he'll agree with me.
it's a situation where I think this is where. Do we have anything else to complain about
Pitching is the only thing.
with this lineup every night?
No.
Okay,
No.
is this going to be an ongoing problem?
Pitching?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Because and feel free to jump in. 'Cause
Yeah.
we
say whatever you want.
I mean, this is this
we
is
are,
much
we
your
are
team
PG
as
though, so you just need to.
I mean, he's the only one allowed to curse. So
No, I don't. When do I curse?
I just said you're the only one allowed.
No.
So,
No.
No, I agree with you guys 100%. Because one of the big problems, if you remember last year, they had the low-scoring games where they were losing by 1 run, so they kind of addressed that problem this year. But now it seems
Right.
like the pitching is just not showing up yet.
Right. So they went the other direction.
And when you're scoring 10 runs, yeah, that may not be a problem. But when you're scoring 9 runs, but they're scoring 6, I still
Right.
see a problem there.
Oh, big problem.
Because yeah, you're hitting them, but that's not going to happen every night. And I do think they need a closer, and I think they need another starter. I think they're 2 pitchers away from actually becoming that team.
Belinda wants to know if we have anybody that can go deep in the innings. as far as relievers. I don't think we do.
I mean, it's, I look at it like it's a mixed bag of tricks right now because,
Exactly right.
Who's not going to be, probably 3 or 4 of those guys aren't going to be available to pitch tonight because he's used them so much.
And wasn't this a problem last year?
Well, yeah, and when you're pulling your starters at the end of 5 or 6, you got to make up 4 innings.
And
and these
we
guys
don't have any long-term relievers.
I just think you need to pick a guy. If you're not going to go out and get someone, you need to pick a guy, whether it's Hector, whether it's Robertson. You need to pick a guy and say, you're going to be my closer. You're going to be my ninth inning guy, and you need to run with them, good or bad. You need to run with them so that Nishak can figure out he's a 7th inning guy. This guy's going to be, an 8th inning guy, and pretty much piecemeal this thing because that's what these good teams do. They have a system, and these guys know their roles.
Okay, so who's responsible for coming up with that?
Well, and again, I'm not going to beat up on Kapler. I don't think anybody has defined their roles.
Well, and that was not a question to beat up on anybody. That was a legitimate
question.
Well,
I know where you're going because I know how much you love the guy, and I know you're waiting to jump on him at any time.
If I could have jumped on him from point blank, but I did not.
Well,
because I'm giving him. I'm giving him a chance.
You're getting excited.
I'm giving him a chance.
I don't think it's going to be long. But no, it's just I just don't think. I guess what I'm trying to say is I just don't know if there's enough powerful arms in that bullpen to get the job done.
There isn't.
You know what I mean? I just you can't define their roles. They don't know what role they're supposed to be in, so they can prepare. Am I pitching 2 innings? 1 batter? I just think
I think they're going on the precedent from last year where you pitched until he pulled you. Which was usually 1 or 2 batters.
I don't think Nishak wants to be a closer. Okay,
I don't think he should be,
and I don't think he wants to be used in the 9th inning as one. Okay,
I think he should be.
That's never been his role.
Right.
Okay, Sir Anthony, we've run him through just about every spot, and he just hasn't. Well, he just hasn't got back to that form. That he once showed. Neres has struggled. He's looked good lately.
He has gotten a lot better.
And I want to give a shout out to my fan club, that ripped me about Neres, and I didn't hear anything from him when he came back and pitched well. And I'll be honest with you, if he's your guy, I think you need to run with him. You need to put him in that spot
and only use him in that spot
and bring him in to close.
But see, I think he likes to mix it up a little bit. That's why he doesn't have somebody who's a closer, because
this team is not built like it was last year. You don't need to take those chances. You don't have that mishmash of tonight. We're only going to score 2 runs. No, that party's over.
Yeah.
That
Thank
party's
God
over.
that party's over.
They needed to seal the deal and close that win out last night. You know
what
I mean? I don't want to see that no more. But with this bullpen already 10 games in, right? They're 7-3, 10 games in, and you got to sit guys because they've pitched too much.
Yep.
That's
a problem.
That's a big problem.
That is a huge
problem. Big problem.
And I think that is the problem that's going to get us in a lot of trouble.
Well,
when we get deep into the season.
Exactly.
We're not going to have as many days off as we did in the beginning. So you're going to end up using 5-6 pitchers in a game. You can't do that. We don't have that depth in our bullpen anymore.
No. Well, you never did. You haven't had that depth
for a while.
For a long time.
Right.
You don't have a Brad Lidge. You don't have a Billy Wagner. You don't have, a Chapman that the Yankees have. You don't have it.
Now my question is why?
Well, because you don't. You just Brad Lidge came here to the Phillies after getting lit up in Houston, and
Yeah.
they basically said, here, you
Yep.
can have him, good luck. And you know, he goes on to, you know, 48 straight saves. You know, I mean, you kind of, you know, how does that happen? You know, somebody sees something, they tweak it, you know what I mean, and they get them right.
So
You know,
somebody
so-
thinks we should use Velasquez as a closer.
Well, I mean, and that may be, that could be a very good, you know, situation for him, but he wants to start.
Right.
And they want him to start. So until they figure out that he's no longer a starter, that's not an option. You just can't take him out of the rotation
Right.
and make him a closer.
Well, you for one, you can't take him out unless you have somebody to put in that spot.
That's true.
Starters are more accessible than relief
I
pitchers
get that,
are.
but who are you going to put in his spot?
Well, I mean, there's a couple guys at AAA that probably aren't too far away.
Okay.
You know, that's an easy fix to make. You know, my situation is I've looked down at AAA, and there isn't a guy down there that you could promote and say, hey, we want you to come in and, you know, help us out in the bullpen.
Right. So the biggest thing that I see is we need a setup guy for the 8th, and we need a closer for the 9th.
Well, you need a closer.
Right.
I think you've got a setup guy, you know, in Nishak. You know, you probably have a 7th inning guy in Tommy Hunter when he gets back.
If
and
that's
he's
the
healthy.
case, then we need to keep Nishak in the 8th inning.
I totally agree with you.
Wait,
Totally.
he said he agreed with me.
I totally
You
agree
heard
with
him.
you. You know, it could be the very first and last time. You know, I can't promise anything. You know what I mean? I can tell you that, you know, last night, you know, you let that game get away.
Right.
You did.
Absolutely.
You know, you let it get away. It should have never happened.
Right.
You were one strike away,
Yep.
you know, and
I know.
That's something that drives me nuts too, because closers, like you said, are harder to get, and you know you got to have one. So that should have been priority one. You know, if you knew you were getting Bryce Harper,
Right.
that should have been your next. We need that closer, because, you know, why someone says, "Hey, make Velasquez a closer," it's not the same. Like if a guy's, you know, the starter, being a starter and being a closer, being a starter, you can come in a little cold and then warm yourself up. Being the closer, you got to come in hot and be ready to take people down.
I mean, it's not.
It's
not
two
an
different
easy-
ways of pitching.
Exactly.
It's always been like
Sure.
that, even before
Absolutely.
the analytics
Yeah.
and the pitch counts, which
Yeah.
I think is the biggest problem.
You know, I'll tell you. I mean, I'm with you with the whole analytics thing, but I don't see where it applies with the relief pitchers. I really don't. I don't see it in the bullpen because, you know, where you know, correct me, help me out. Where does it apply? Where does
It
other
doesn't.
than righty
Right.
than righty lefty?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
and that's a given. That's baseball.
okay,
right?
so-
he lets. Who did he leave in last night? Oh, Adam Morgan.
Right.
Right. Adam Morgan's only supposed to pitch to left-handers. Right. And you know, then he tries to justify. Well, he's as good. I'm like, well, wait.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's
so
one.
I
He's
think
one or the other.
he also he's taken into consideration the righty lefty, but he's also taken into consideration maybe what their last matchup was with, you know, a left-handed pitcher or a right-handed pitcher. Who knows? I don't know what's going through his head half the time. So, I mean, when it comes to how he picks, well, lineup is already set, but how he picks the relief pitchers, I have absolutely no idea. And I was watching towards the end of the game last night. I'm looking at our bullpen. We had 2 people sitting out there. I'm like, who the hell are we going to bring in?
Right.
You know, and this is a big problem. They think that having good bats 1 through 8 is going to solve the pitching problem. It's not, and we saw that last night.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you saw Nola struggled.
Right.
I mean, you know, he's admitted it. You know,
Right.
he's searching for something.
So
you know, something's missing.
So then
you
who's
know?
our pitching coach?
Well,
Do we have one?
I see. I knew it took a half hour, and I knew you'd find. I knew you'd find somebody because you were on. Who was it? McClure. You know Bob McClure.
I couldn't stand him.
Yeah. See. See. I don't blame. I don't put all the blame on these pitching coaches.
I'm not.
because
No. My question is.
You can prepare these guys for a situation.
I get it, but if Nola's looking for something, then I think it would be the pitching coach's job to
So
find out.
You don't think they look over tape and go
Oh, I'm not
over
saying they don't.
certain things and
I'm not saying they don't. I'm sure they do.
It's like anything else. I mean, look at Tiger Woods. I mean, it's taken Tiger Woods how many years to find his swing back?
Yeah, it's not
He's fired 6 swing coaches. He's fired 6 putting coaches. He's fired.
It's not going to happen overnight. I get it. I think it's the pitching coach's job to work with him to find out exactly what he's looking for.
And I have all the confidence in the world. I don't know who Chris what's his name? Who's the pitching coach?
I have no idea.
Well, you do.
I don't.
Chris Long, is it? No, he plays for the Eagles.
I was gonna say he's doing it all these days.
Somebody find out who the pitching coach is and let me know, please.
It's you let the pitching coach go to bring in this younger guy. I mean, what's his responsibility? You should have sent somebody out to talk to the young lad last night. What was it? Ramirez?
Yeah.
I forget who it was. He was 1 strike away. I think that the catcher went out.
Jim Gott.
No, he's the bullpen coach.
He's the bullpen coach, Jim.
He's the bullpen coach. I think Realmuto went out and talked to him and said, "Hey, I need it down here in the dirt."
Right.
And he missed
Chris
the
Young.
spot.
It's Chris Young.
Chris Young.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris.
Thanks, Tom.
So I don't put these guys are missing their spots.
Right.
He had thrown 30 pitches. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown 31. You know
Right.
what I mean? That's where I feel the coach should have said, "Hey, Cap, maybe we need to get him out of there."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's losing something, and next thing you know, boom, the game's tied up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like it's so early, and I don't want to start beating on the bullpen because it's a hot mess right now.
But it can be fixed.
Right. But you need to address it fast.
Correct. Yeah.
You need to address it fast.
It's not something that's going to get fixed by next game.
Well,
it can get better by next game.
Well, here lies the problem. You got Nick Pivetta pitching tonight.
Right.
I mean, he's shown in the past he's not getting past the 5th or 6th inning.
They're probably starting in a couple minutes too.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you're going to be right back into the pen again tonight, and who's going to be available?
Right.
That's true.
So if Pivetta gets in a slump early, we're screwed.
I didn't see any moves today. If they brought anybody up from Lehigh, a fresh arm.
Right.
I didn't see anything either.
I didn't hear anything.
But I just think that's a problem right now. It's a problem that you would think with the lineup, and we've touched on it.
So we need to address the Kimbrel thing because that's coming up.
Okay.
So the whole thing with Kimbrel is
6 years.
Right. He wants 6 years.
6 years, mega millions of dollars, and the Phillies just aren't. I mean, how do you give the guy a 6-year deal?
You can't.
He hasn't had a multi-year deal in the past 2 years.
What? And why do you think he hasn't been signed yet? Because he's not worth 6 years.
It's just
definitely not. Yeah.
It's just I mean, can he get people out? He positively
sure.
can. And I guarantee you, a couple weeks from now, there'll be he'll find a team.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
He'll find a team.
I'm sure he will.
I don't
think it's the right fit for us, especially not for 6 years.
I just think we need to we need to figure this out and figure it out fast.
So get on the horn to Cap and tell him we need to fix this out.
Me?
Yeah. You got the direct line, not me.
It's I don't know what the GM is thinking. You know what I mean? First and foremost, it's good. That call has to come from upstairs.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're going to bring in, Kimbrel, somebody.
Well,
trade for somebody. As Frank said, I think we were talking that the Doolittle guy was available.
So Belinda had an idea. Should give him a 1-year mega deal. I don't think he'll take it. He wants 6 years.
No, because he knows this is his last shot at
if it's taken him this long to get signed now, next year, it's going to be even worse.
And unfortunately, as sports have proven, like Carl said, if you wait long enough, somebody's going to get desperate.
Right.
Like the Yankees, Red Sox. they'll throw that money at you, and they don't care because
Right.
you know
And
what?
I guarantee
the fans will eat it later on.
And he's not hurting for money.
No, so he can sit out a while, and again, someone's going to get to the point where, like, you know what? Let's give him 6 years. If we get 2 years out of him, so be it.
Right.
And that's the problem. Do you want to be that team that throws all the money, and then you're kind of screwing yourself?
We end up eating 4 years.
Yeah, we got a good young team. We got the bats.
Right.
So they definitely got to do something with the pitching. But, you know,
I have
ever
a
since.
feeling pitching's going to be next year. That's just a thought.
Yeah, but when you're scoring as many runs, you
Right.
can't think. Because the next year, and I'm not wishing it, somebody could get hurt.
Right.
Then what happens? I mean, I always go back to the Ryan Howard. we waited for next year, and then all of a sudden he gets hurt. He was never the same after that injury.
Right.
You know.
Oh, sorry. It was Brandon, not Belinda. Sorry.
So you know, you don't want to think next year. This year is the year. The way the Eagles did it, the way you got to go for it.
Well, I mean, you bring up a great point because the Eagles
Right.
went. Nick Foles was ready to retire. Nick Foles was ready to go home and be a daddy and give up his uniform, and the Eagles talked him in to come in. I don't know. I don't think they paid him very much.
No.
I don't think they paid him very much.
No, it was
you know
only
what
a
I mean?
couple million,
and he
right?
was a savior. You
Right.
know what I mean? You know, and again, kind of like the Brad Lynch thing. You know, the Brad Lynch thing kind of just happened. You know what I mean? It was, he was there, and we had a need, and he filled it in very nicely.
Yeah.
Nick did a great job.
He did an awesome job.
You know, where can the Phillies find this next guy?
Well, see, you brought up a great point there. Now, if you think about it, everyone's always looking at the guys here.
Right.
Do we really need the guy here? Maybe the guy here, like your Nick Foles, because no one would have ever predicted that Nick Foles was going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Absolutely not.
So we have the hitting. Do we need that knockout lights closer, or do we need? I mean, that guy who's lights out closer, or do we need the closer that can get you out of trouble?
Well, you always want the lights out.
Well, I think that's where they
but-
signed the guy from the Yankees,
Right.
to possibly fill that role.
Right.
But here you have a stubborn-ass manager who won't define roles,
Yeah, that's a problem.
okay?
Right.
And I think that's a bigger problem for the guys in the bullpen.
Right.
Because if these baseball players and sports athletes in general,
Pitchers are head cases.
well, it's they're not head cases.
Sure they are.
No, it just they want to know their role.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want your boss to support you.
I wish my boss would tell me what to do every day.
But he's supporting you. You
Right.
may not think he is.
No,
but
I know
he's
he is. No,
supporting
believe
you.
me, I know my
he's
boss is.
supporting you. You know what I mean?
Believe me, I know my boss is. We talk about it every day.
That's what Kepler's got it. He's got to balance all of this.
I know.
He's got to balance, getting Nola straightened out, getting Velasquez straightened out. It looks like Zach Eflin's off to a fast start, 2-0.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So,
So
maybe
Brad wants to know if Hamels will be here anytime this season.
boy, that rumor popped again today. I saw that on the internet today. That I think he would look good in the back end of the rotation. I really
think so
do.
too.
If you could go, Nola, Arrieta, and Hamels, and fit in, Pavetta
Yep.
and Eflin,
shit.
and kind of bridge.
Are we still on?
What happened?
I don't know. We're kind of just hanging here.
Uh-oh. If you can just hang on, maybe bridge Velasquez, to the bullpen.
Yeah.
Give him some opportunities. Just like they did, the other day. Because he was the extra starter that they didn't need.
Right.
So they used him, and he did a good job.
Yeah.
He did a real good job. So, I don't know. They're 7-3. They're playing good baseball. They're scoring runs.
There we go. We're back.
And if this, I guess, I don't know.
But with the gaps in the games we've already had, if guys are tired now,
I know.
when we get into where later in the
know.
season where you got to make up games,
I know.
and you're playing, a week straight, they gotta think, and something you brought up too. With all sports,
Right.
I was a wrestler for 20 years. you can't let these guys get into their own heads. And sometimes they're looking to the coaches to tell them what to do. If you're not giving them a defined role, you're letting them think, well, maybe the reason they're not giving me a defined role is I'm not good enough. And if that gets in a guy's head, then he's not going to be able to pitch. Or you tell a guy, you're only good for 4 pitches.
Right.
Even if that guy could throw 20 pitches, after the 4th one, he's going to be like, well, that's it for me. So, you gotta, like Carl said, you gotta define the role. You gotta say, look, man, this is what you can do. I know you can do this. And if the guy has he struggles a little, you show a little faith. That next game he may come out, and boom, everything's fixed.
Right.
Hey, coach, I had a hiccup. But if you tell him, look, man, 5 pitches and
When's the last time you heard that from an athlete? Admit that he had a hiccup.
It doesn't happen often. It happens.
Unfortunately, it doesn't. And
But it
that's
doesn't happen
not
often.
just baseball, that's all sports. I think a little old school humility would go a long way today.
Right.
Because there are some athletes out there like that who
Not many.
Yeah, who
Not
will
many.
take the hit. Like
Not many.
So we got some people who want to know when Harper's going to be in the shop.
He's not.
Okay.
He's not.
Yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen.
He's not. He's turned down a lot of money, from a major player in this industry, and I don't see it happening. So
There you go.
as much as I've answered that question probably the most of anything since
I think we should
since-
start a campaign to get him here.
Well, if he's going to come someplace, he better come here first.
Yeah, exactly. So it's up to you guys to get him here. How's that?
I'll throw this out there. I
Okay.
think there's enough good Phillies on that team
Right.
that if I don't, we can fill in with some pretty good
Oh,
players.
absolutely.
Some pretty good players.
Absolutely. I'll give you a list of who I want.
So, but I mean Harper would be good. Harper would be good. He's not a big autograph guy. He never was.
That's
true. It's not.
Which I actually get that.
It's not in his whatever it is. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. Maybe since he was 14 years old and on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and saw that they were selling the Sports Illustrateds for $400 or $500.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. Somebody needs to ask him that question.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, next time I'm having a beer with him, I'll
So,
ask him.
and that's one of the things that I put in one of my my daily little posts. I'd love to have a beer with him. I'd
Absolutely, yeah.
love to sit down and talk with him.
Yeah.
And somebody said he doesn't drink beer.
root beer.
I'm like, okay, soda.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Soda,
Soda,
coffee,
whatever.
water, whatever.
Tea, whatever the case may be. I'm sure he's has a cocktail.
I'll
or
have him
two.
over at my house for a spaghetti dinner. How's
But
that?
I'd love to see how this guy ticks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he plays with a lot of emotion.
Yes,
Plays
he does.
with a lot of emotion.
Yes, he
and I'll
does.
be honest with you. I'm gonna say something that I'm probably gonna get beat up over. But let me say this. Do you think somebody said to him, "What do you think of the bullpen? What do you think? Do you think we have what it takes?" Do you think that was
I wouldn't
part
doubt
of?
that.
Do you think that was part of conversation? Like how good do you think this team is?
I wouldn't doubt
Do you
that.
think we have enough? What is your where do you see things?
Do you think somebody like him would come here if he didn't think that we would be in the running for a World Series within his tenure here?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I mean, now you on the other hand, you have Trout, who's
That makes no sense.
committed for the next 14 years total, and from
He's
what I see,
he's an Eagles fan, and I'll leave it there.
I guess he was okay with the Eagles ring because that's as close as he's going to get to on that team. Sorry, Trout. I'm a fan, but yeah, I'll get closer to a Super Bowl ring or a World Series ring before
Well,
you will.
he can go to Disneyland anytime he wants.
Yeah.
But so we're all in agreement that A, we need a closer.
Yes.
B, we need to reshuffle the deck in the bullpen. We need to find some defined roles there.
Right.
We're all in agreement. We're
Yes.
Absolutely.
all three of us.
absolutely.
And maybe another starter that can go a little deeper.
What's your views on bringing Hamels back?
I mean, in the right role, he's great. I mean, he's a good clubhouse guy. You know, that's always important, especially when you got a core like you have. And he could be that spark. I mean, if you know, you get into trouble, you got Hamels waiting there to get you out of trouble.
Right. Do you think he would go to the pen? I don't think he would.
That's a. I don't know. I don't know what he's got left. If he's got enough. I mean, these guys are between the years. They prepare themselves to pitch every fifth day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's why he wanted to get out.
On that note, I mean, look what they did with Brett Myers.
Right.
Brett Myers starter, went to the pen, came back. It helped his career.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what
Longevity.
I mean? So maybe somewhere in the Phillies brass, one of the coaches says, maybe this Velasquez is that guy. Maybe that's the guy we need to send to the pen and try to figure this out. I don't know. I just don't want to see a pattern set. I need to see Pivetta come out tonight, strong outing.
Kick ass.
We need to win the game.
Yeah.
We need to put last night behind us. We can't have any hangovers.
Yeah, and I don't think they're gonna let last night sit in their head too much.
No, because you've got 1 through 8. Them boys are up there, and all they're thinking is put the ball out of the park.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I just look at you got to nip this in the bud quick. You can't deal with this every night.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can't deal with this every night.
Oh, the city will turn on you.
Well, here's another problem. They had 2 days off.
Right.
You know what I mean? In 2 days off, the guys didn't pitch. And you're still got a bullpen that's in trouble.
I know.
So I'm like,
So we got about 15 minutes left.
that's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well.
Time flies. So, real quick.
Yeah.
So, Lauren and Sue went to the Sixers game tonight.
Why?
For her birthday.
For whose birthday?
Sue's birthday.
Happy
Happy birthday, Sue.
So, Lauren and Sue, they do this.
So Pivetta just walked a run in, by the way.
This is you're ruining my night already.
Sorry.
So,
I could clothesline him for
You can blame Tom. He told me.
So, no starters tonight. They're not. None of their starters are none, zero. So I guess they had to call up. Some replacements from the G League. Not that it's far away. It's only down in Delaware, but no starters. So I don't know what. I don't know. I hope this is the right chemistry because the playoffs start. They still don't know who they're going to play.
Oh, God.
I think I read something today like a good matchup would be them in Brooklyn. So I don't know. But how do you spend all that money, for tickets and you go down and you're going to watch G League players?
That's true too.
How sad's that?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I can't afford to go to a game these days.
It's crazy. It's real crazy. But I don't know what the playoff. I guess tonight's the last game of the season. So
that's my guess.
The 76ers will figure out who they're playing, whether it's Brooklyn or Indiana. They still don't know who they're going to play, but they're in the playoffs. They're the third seed, so we wish them luck.
Yeah, good luck.
And hopefully they can bring us, some wins.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Unlike the Flyers, and I know you're ready to you're ready to jump all over me about the Flyers not making the playoffs and.
Wow, we got all the Ficos watching tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got Tom, Belinda, and their son TJ.
And
who's new?
I think TJ lives here in Havertown, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he lives in Drexel Hill.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. I was misinformed.
So.
But no playoffs for the Fly guys. I think it's going to be a season of just they got to retool this whole thing. New coach, new everything.
Well, they were doing good, and then all of a sudden they just kind of dropped off the end.
That was, they had a tough road to and they got close. They got close.
Yeah.
They got close. But I know you're a big football guy. You and Danny run up and down I-95 from Chantilly to North Jersey and
New
Let's
York.
let's,
New
let's
York
talk about that
and-
for a little bit.
yeah, I mean it's pretty cool because I know Danny's a big autograph guy.
Yeah, we
And,
both are. We
Well,
both are.
yeah, I think Danny kind of pushes the envelope. Am I right?
Yeah, well, we have a good time. It's an experience for us. The traveling, the road trips, the conversations are some of the best, and then it's always a great feeling when you get to a place and you meet someone who you watched growing up. But I'll bring up Saturday with Dick Vermeil.
That was awesome.
Such a wonderful experience, a wonderful guy, and you left here when you meet someone. What was it, all 2 minutes?
Yeah.
And 3 days later, you're sitting there like, how cool was
Yeah.
he?
Yep.
That's to me what it's all about. Not just meeting your heroes, but when they turn out to be as good as you expect. That's the best part. But yeah, I mean the autograph. I'm going into my probably over 20 some years now of collecting, which is funny because you might not know this. You were the first person I ever bought an autograph from at the McDade Mall.
Wow.
Huh? That doesn't exist anymore.
And it's still kind of there.
An autographed hockey puck.
Wow.
It wasn't a Flyer, so I won't bring up who it was, but
Interesting. Who was
God.
it?
Detroit, Sergei Fedorov.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
My very first autograph, and you were the one that got me hooked on starting these, and it was funny because I knew you from the mall, but I didn't know you had a store here, and then I think around 2009, I wandered into the store, and you had this Eagles helmet signed by all the Eagles greats, and I bought it, and you've cost me a lot of money over the years.
Very good. Good to hear. So what's your best auto? What I mean, it doesn't have to be dollar wise because everybody comes in the store and they ask me what's the most expensive thing you have. But what's the coolest thing that you have? What's the coolest thing that you're really proud to have?
From being in wrestling, I have a couple wrestling belts signed. One of my favorites is actually my most recent one. I thank you for this when you had Bob Backlund in here. And growing up, he was one of the guys that I strived to be, and my childhood hero.
Can you stand on your head?
He just did that again, and it went viral.
Really?
And I posted a picture from Carl's because I have the picture in the video, and I said, "Oh no, he did this in October." But there, he just did it once. I said, "No, at Carl's, he did it 5 times."
Jeez.
But I have the belt signed by Backlund, which is it was an honor to meet him, and then a replica of the title he wore, and then I have an NWA belt signed by every living and one non-living NWA champion.
Wow.
So they're my favorites. I mean, there's other pieces in the collection, but I think the pieces that mean the most. Another one, and people may be shocked to hear this, is I have an autographed Harlem Globetrotters basketball signed by Meadowlark Lemon.
Wow.
Nice.
And the reason that one brings me such joy is one of my great memories is Saturdays afternoons sitting there watching the Globetrotters with my mother.
Yeah.
And then her and my aunt, who weren't sports fans,
Right.
but they would take us down to the Spectrum to watch the
It was
Globetrotters.
entertaining.
Yeah.
It was entertaining.
And
Right.
when I met Meadowlark, I mentioned that to him, and he was such a nice guy. Shook my hand, gave me a big hug.
That's
Did he
cool.
throw a bucket of water on you?
No.
I'll get a bucket.
He said he was going to save that for those scoundrel Washington Generals.
God. So
Very
somebody wants to know what your best signing was and why.
My best signing?
Yeah.
Ooh. Got to be Gordie Howe.
Oh, what a wonderful
I-
guy
Got to
it
be
was.
got to be
I
Gordie
don't
Howe.
even think that needs an explanation
Mr.
as to why.
Mr. Hockey.
Yeah.
It just. I mean, it's just. I mean, the rest is history.
Yeah.
The rest is history. Oh, and it was an honor because I became friends with Mark Howe first.
Okay.
And the whole thing was put together by the family.
Right.
Because Mark, kind of put his mark on it and said, we can go there, and
Okay.
I can take Dad there, And
Brandon said he was here for that.
That was that was special. I mean, we've had some good ones.
Did you ever hear my story about the Gordie Howe signing? Myself and my friend Bay, we were here. We were so excited to meet Gordie Howe. We got a picture. I left here, got creamed in a car accident.
Oh.
By an old lady coming out of church. She gave me the double tap, destroyed my car. They were trying to load me into the ambulance, but they left my helmet, my Gordie Howe signed helmet. And I'm like, no, get that. And the guy's like, we got to get you to the hospital. Damn it, I ain't moving till you get that. I actually, and it's funny because I'm in the hospital, I'm being wheeled in on the gurney. I got cut on my head, all beat up, and I'm hanging onto that helmet for dear life. And every time they took me someplace, the helmet went with me. I was not letting it out of my sight.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah, we were supposed to have him back along with both of his sons.
Right.
Like a year and a half later, and then Gordie took ill, and it never happened. And I cherish, every time I see them photos.
Yeah.
They pop up on Facebook.
Yep.
People's 5 years, and it's Gordie, and he was special. But that was a good. We've had a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of good ones. I hate having to pick one, but that was that was a good one.
It's understandable.
That was a good one.
So why don't we recap? We got 4 minutes left.
Okay, so we're giving away tickets. Hopefully, we've had a lot of
We got a lot of people
going on.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you guys want to go to a wrestling event this Saturday, promoted by this man right here.
Right.
And does a phenomenal job. We want to thank him for coming on tonight.
Oh, thank you guys. I enjoyed the show.
You'll be back.
Yeah,
absolutely. You're not getting off that easy.
Anytime.
Yeah, you're not a one and done.
You'll be back, and maybe next time you could bring one of those belts.
Yeah.
We can put it on display.
Yeah, definitely.
And show the people. Anybody wants to go to the Fightins Friday night? I got tickets. Tickets. It's free. Free parking, free tickets.
And what do they have to do?
We're going to pick a winner tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
We may pick a couple winners tomorrow. So
if I could say something, Carl, I've been Carl's guest at the Reading Phillies, and it is such a great fun time.
You threw out a bad first pitch, didn't you?
Thanks, Carl.
Was I not supposed to bring that up? Huh? We're going to give you a do-over.
Oh,
we're going to give you a do-over.
So bad.
We're going to give you a do-over.
And the worst part is the 4-year-old kid in front of me nailed it.
That's usually what happens.
Because I was so honored that Carl asked me to throw out the first pitch, and then I was like, crap, he doesn't know I can't throw. I can throw a left hook.
You can jump off the top rope, but you can't throw a baseball.
No, I could never throw a baseball. Hey, I was a tackler in football. I never threw the ball.
Oh, my God.
So, share the page, This Fan's View.
Force your friends to like our page and watch us.
I write a little, follow-up every morning, so I like everybody's comments, and you guys are awesome, and, we're going to pick some winners tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll do
pick
it tomorrow.
some winners tomorrow. We'll make some announcements. You guys can come here to the store and pick them up. This one's Friday night. This one's Saturday, so get your butts in here and pick these tickets up and go enjoy yourself.
Yep.
There's even a giveaway Friday night, a Aaron Nola blanket.
Nice.
So
there you go.
Plus, we've got some other giveaways this year for the Reading Phils. We're going to be doing a live shot
up there. We'll be doing a live shot from when May
7th.
7th.
May 7th. So we've got a lot of stuff going on.
That's less than a month away.
Yeah, this guy right here been a big supporter of ours for years and years and years, and gives back to Delco and beyond. So follow this guy. What's the page?
You can follow me at Liberty All Star Wrestling on Facebook,
and we'll share that on here.
LAW Wrestling on Instagram and LAW Wrestling on Twitter, and just like the shirt says, it's wrestling the way you remember it, and we're bringing it back to when you were a kid, and we want to make memories. Come out to the show. I'm at every show, front and center. Make sure you look me up. I'll make sure that the children get pictures, autographs, posters. They have a good time because that's what's important to me,
I just shared your page on here, so
like when you come to Carl's, it's not just you're not a customer; it's an experience. And that's the same thing we're trying to do.
Yep.
I had a great teacher.
Who wasn't?
You.
Long before me. Long before me. Trust me. You're just, I mean, this is why we have this going on, and I tell my friends all the time, stop in. You don't have to buy something. Stop in and say hi. Let's chat.
How many times have we done
Right?
that? We're in the area.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
And it's their memories. We'll cherish them forever. So, thank you to everybody, for hanging in there with us tonight. We'll be back again next Wednesday night.
No.
No,
Either Tuesday or Thursday.
Tuesday or Thursday or
Yeah.
Wednesday.
No, it can't be Wednesday.
Well, it might be.
I'm available.
So we'll make that announcement. Got that club thing going on.
You'll be there tomorrow for food, so I wouldn't say anything about that.
So we will
All
we will be back next week, and like and share our pages, and we will like and share you.
There you go.
Take care.
See you
Have a
guys.
great night.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.